to share tonight related to the Joplin High School and Franklin Technical Center program of study. So I'm going to kick it over to Angie, and I think we have some guests here this evening to talk a little bit about that work.
Well, I'm going to invite the team up, and I'm just going to say that, you know, just a few weeks after the tornado, and I think it was like 3 weeks after the tornado, we had our first dream meeting. And so, you know, here we've honored Martin Luther King this month, and I think that there was this I have a dream, and today I think that you'll see that that dream that we had a series of meetings that has come about to some very real and practical things that are happening for our students. And so I can't tell you how proud I am of the ideas that are coming to fruition and what's going to happen for our kids, and the fact that there are documentaries about waiting for Superman, and in Joplin we don't need to wait for Superman anymore because we've got this team that have developed the right thing for every student, and I think this is going to make a tremendous difference. And so with that said, I'm turning it over to them.
Okay, well, thank you for having us here again, and we're all going to visit with you tonight at different points about the new program, about how the new school is going to function with the program inside. And you heard about from Universal about the excitement from getting the building project done, and now I think the real power is when we put the program with the building. It's going to be real exciting for students and everybody working there, and I think parents are going to be very pleased. We have a short video we want to show you, if we can get it queued up, and kind of get you started a little bit.
Now, you talking about what's in this book?
Yes, we're going to talk about what's in this book. Did a very good job of really bringing what's going to happen in the school come to life, so we're excited about that. What I want to do tonight is we're going to start with the website that you'll be able to look at, and we hope that parents, when they see this, will start utilizing this, as well as the students, to learn more about the school and to hopefully get any questions they have asked. And we're going to go just show you a little briefly. We talked to you about the mission and the vision the last board meeting, and Jason's got it right there, and he's scrolling up. And there's the kind of the first page right there in the video, and a little bit more information. There's all kinds of links on the web page, and also down at the bottom you can see the calendar where we're going to be meeting with students and parents as well. You can see the February 10th, 11th, and 13th. We're going to go to the middle schools, and we're going to talk to the middle school students and parents at the middle schools, and so that kind of gives you an idea of what's coming.
Which website's that on?
That's on the Joplin High School website. Okay. And if you go to the website and under our school, if you hover on that and then kind of go over to the right, you'll see it says Next Generation, JHS, and FTC.
Okay.
So then you can kind of see things. There's the mission, the vision statement. We talked to you about that last board meeting. Empowering, passion for learning, career readiness are all big parts of that. Rigorous and relevant academics. We have a page devoted to that, and with links. And also all of our pages that talk about the school have links to references, so that you can go out and see what's going on in the rest of the country, or research, or whatever's out there. So we're excited about that. Kelly did a very good job of that and putting this website together for us with all the information that we compiled. The next area is relationships, and we're going to talk to you a little bit, Jane's going to talk to you a little bit about that here in just a little bit about transitions, give you a little bit more detail on the transitions course. There's quite a bit of information on there. We talked to you about that last month, and I want to remind the patrons that we're really going to do a better job of college and career readiness inside the school day with the curriculum, with everybody in the school pretty much involved. You know, all teachers are going to be involved, the guidance counselors, when it comes to courses for the classes. And I'll let Jane tell you about that in a second. Personalized learning, personalized education is the next link we'll take you to. And that link goes into detail and talks about the PLEs, we're calling them, because in education, you know, we have a million acronyms, but personalized learning experiences where students can have independent learning type experiences by coming up and helping design courses with their teachers. We'll have a committee that will vet those courses and that will make sure that there's standards and structure, and and that they're quality courses for students. That option is there for students, and we'll have a time period that students can submit proposals for those types of courses near the end of this school year for next year. Jason, if you could pop on the bell schedule, there's an area about the bell schedule, and you can open that up, and people can see the bell schedule and see that over the course of a week, if we can just enlarge that just a little. On Monday, we will have all of our classes, as well as the transitions class. And then on Tuesday, we have all of our periods, with the exception of transition. But on Wednesday and Thursday, parents and students are going to be able to see that we have larger block time on Wednesday and Thursday, so that they can have about 90 to 95 minutes, depending upon the class, to do projects, activities, labs. It'll make it more conducive to our curriculum, and we can have more flexibility that way. You notice that the transitions course on Thursday, you can see it there, the cursors by it, is 90 minutes. The great thing about that is we can have a curriculum for college and career readiness for part of that day. We can use it for also, or that time period, excuse me, and also use it for interventions for students who need extra help, kind of like when we talked about Read 180 and giving students more extra support. But also we can have college visits at that time, college counselors come in, business partners, community members, talk to students in small groups, larger groups about jobs and whatever we want to do with it. We're excited about that time, so it's dedicated to giving our kids more exposure to what they need, so that when they get out of high school they can make good decisions. And then on Friday we have a full complement of our classes as a regular day, and then transitions again for probably likely for checkup with the advising teacher and their students, so to make sure things are on track. So we're real excited about that. We are going to expand the number of dual credit courses that we have greatly. Christina is going to show you the course catalog here in a little bit and give you kind of an idea about that. We're still going to have about 12, 13 advanced placement courses, but we're going to greatly increase the number of dual credit courses we have. And then the final thing is the Career Pass. If we could pop that open there on the screen. There we go. We've got a new graphic on the Career Paths, and you'll see it coming up here in just a sec. And it kind of gives we try to do a better job of detailing the career paths, the general 5 career paths, the clusters underneath them, and then the pathways are in the lightest print, so that you can see what we offer and what we have, a full complement of courses, so that if a student elects a pathway underneath one of those paths, that they can go all the way to either get a credential for that particular job, or get extensive training to be ready for college, or in many cases be able to go right into the workforce, depending upon what pathway it is. So we want to be able to explain that better. And last thing I'm going to tell you about before Janie talks to you a little bit more about the transitions course is we are going to have a presence on campus of colleges, Crowder, Missouri Southern. We want to make it more available for university folks to come in and talk to our kids and whomever, and that time for that 90 minutes of transitions on Thursdays and give us that opportunity to have more exposure to people on campus and to have a presence there. Jim comes on campus and does a lot for us right now through Missouri Southern and helps a lot of kids. In fact, he's doing FAFSA activities to get kids in the pipeline for college, and we're being really progressive and aggressive with our guidance program all the way around, and we think that's going to do nothing but help our kids in high school, but more importantly after high school, because we want them to walk off the stage of graduation happy. So, okay,
so do we have less AP classes then?
No, we will not have less. We're just going to increase the dual credit courses.
Okay, now dual credit, you pay through Missouri Southern or any college? Or?
Missouri Southern or Crowder are the 2 institutions we're working with right now.
Terry, how many dual credit courses do we have in our current high school programming? Is it 13?
I think it's 13 right now.
We're going to have 42.
Yeah, by the time you add Crowder courses and then a couple more that Southern's added, we're going to have a lot of opportunities. So if a kid is in a particular career education course at Crowder that they could get credit on at Crowder if they were in college, they could get it here if they elect to do so.
Through dual credit?
Through dual credit.
And we already have those approvals through Crowder.
Yes.
You know, of course, we have an outstanding staff at FTC, and they're all highly certified.
Yes.
And that can deliver that instruction, so we're really excited about that.
Our AP program is going to stay strong, but we're going to add dual credit opportunities for students.
Okay. Now, is the AP program where you would be able to go into college and not like take English 101 because you did AP in high school and you could just jump up to
If you pass the exam. If you pass the exam.
both dual
Yes.
credit and PD?
Yeah, and actually what I found out with my experience is if they don't get that grade, if they don't get that 3 on the AP exam, then you still have to take that class in college. Whereas if you would have taken the dual credit and you attend a Missouri university, you're going to be fine with that, and even most of the regional universities would do that. And so it's cheaper because you can pay that lower tuition rate, and so you know, that's something that is really a guarantee of college credit versus if you take it in the AP format. And so I guess if I was doing it over again as a parent, I might say, take the dual credit, and then if she was going to be going out of the main area, then I would pay for the AP exam, because that's you know, a test that you may or may not.
One other option too, after the AP test, if you don't score well enough, there's an option to take the CLEP test. And you could, if you pass the CLEP, which is less strenuous than the AP, you get your college credit, so you can skip the class. I know there's
Carly
talk
did
at
that
Missouri
as well.
Southern about doing the CLEP, so I know we're talking to our talent search students that are taking AP. If they can't get that 3, we're going to push them to take, because they have taken the course, we want to push them to take one more test, and if they can pass that, they'll get their credit.
Carly clubbed out of 6 hours over Christmas break.
Okay. I was just looking for the financial incentive
Right.
for parents, whether to take it, have their students do AP, where it costs nothing up front, where the dual credit, you pay for that right when you enroll, correct?
Right.
Can't you apply for financial assistance for dual credit courses as well? Just
Well-
like if you were going to college, right?
We have that grant.
Yeah, we have a grant right now. It's called Innovation Campus, and we have about 29 students that are going through that program. And I'll tell you what, we're excited about that. Sue
And
Day
that's
is working
just
on
the
it.
first year.
And that's the first year. And we had an opportunity to talk to the governor about that here last week, and that's one of his big pet projects, and I think that's a great program. We have kids taking the courses right now that in many cases maybe wouldn't have been able to take a class.
Right.
Most likely probably wouldn't be able to take a class in high school, or been very difficult, or maybe only be able to take 1. Now they can take 2 or 3 or whatever they can handle, and they're going to walk out of high school probably with a year of college out of the way.
So you guys I think it's important to emphasize that there
Yes.
is assistance
Right.
available so that
Right.
parents don't have to shy away from those courses for their students for financial reasons.
Right.
Right.
Thank you.
That's actually a good segue into the transitions program and
guys can pay
the
me later for
relationships
that.
piece. Thank you for that segue. I really appreciate that, Dawn.
Just kidding, too. Thanks.
Relationships are such a big deal in learning, and to quote a lady who did a TED Talk, Rita Pearson, said that every child needs a champion, and we believe that. We believe every child needs a champion, and with 2,200 students at our high school, we want every student to have one teacher who knows them very well, and I talked to you about this last month a little bit, but if you look at the webpage under relationships, it talks about how important it is to have good relationships with our students, and for every student to have someone who knows them well and knows their parents, and that's a big piece of what the transitions teacher will do, is help making sure every student knows that they have an opportunity to get dual credit courses and what financial aid is available, and getting them, setting long-term goals and short-term goals, and making sure they have the tools to get there. We have set it up so that freshmen, well, let's say I'm the teacher and I get 20 students, and I keep those same 20 students for all 4 years of high school so that they don't get shifted off to someone else. I am, from the beginning, responsible to make sure my 20 kids get across that finish line and have a 4-year plan when they graduate, so that they know what they're going to do with their life, whether it's raise babies or be a doctor. Whatever their goal is, they're going to find it, and I'm going to go through that transition with them, all those transitions. So anyway, 9th grade, is a full-year course, and at that point they focus mainly on a lot of the things that Link Crew already is doing, making them feel like they're a part of the school, figuring out what kind of clubs they might like, really looking closer at their career aspirations, and then taking some of those entry-level courses so that they're starting to try out their career that they think they want to have someday. Team building, just all the emotional, it's the whole ball of wax, you know, from feeling safe at school, feeling confident and comfortable. All those social emotional things are going to happen in that transition group, and they'll also build a relationship with their cohort who starts with them and goes all the way through high school, that smaller group of kids.
Jenny, if I can jump in, one of the important things to put in the center of the paths is the heart of a lot of the curriculum, which are the non-cognitive skills, the soft skills that it takes for a student to be successful in life. That's where a lot of the transition curriculum is fleshed out. It's in the non-cognitive, the habit forming, the goal setting, those things that really enable a student to have a structure to be successful in the academic areas of school.
Right. In school and in life, it's those life skills that are so important, that actually the businesses were telling us our kids didn't have them, and that we needed to figure out a way to make sure they do get them. And so we've really done a lot of research and looked at all over the United States. We've looked at programs, advisory programs, and we feel like we've really put together a combination of things that we haven't seen anywhere else, because we're doing it to a degree that's not being done anywhere else. And this, I think, is going to set us apart from any high school in the nation, honestly. So sophomore year, then they get a little more into refining that four-year plan again, revisit their goals and resumes, and get ready, actually start that application process and interview process for if they want to go into vocational programs that are offered through Franklin Tech and Crowder. Those are two-year programs that start junior year, and they have them junior and senior year, so they need to really get pretty serious about those by then. And so they'll be doing interview practice and really fine-tuning that. And then by junior year, they're getting serious about ACT prep, job shadowing, financial planning, major selection for college maybe, just all the, really, each year they just get deeper and more refined. Their focus gets more refined, and they continue, it's a continuous process of making goals and reviewing those goals and the progress towards those. And then, of course, senior year is when Jim and his group are going to come in, I'm sure, and work with FAFSA. Those of you who have high school students who are getting ready to go to college, it is so time-consuming getting those letters of reference, all the things that you need to do, those essays for scholarship applications. All of our high flyer students and our any student going to college have talked about how time-consuming that is, and I've been that parent who, you know, you're cracking the whip on your kids trying to make them get that stuff done, and I've been the teacher who gets the frantic student, you know, the day before it's due saying, will you write me a reference letter? And you're trying to, you know, write one as fast as you can. So we're going to try to build all of those important things into this transition course, in addition to the job ready skills and the key train, I'm forgetting the name of the test again, the job keys test. Is that right? Work keys, gosh. The work keys test, I really have that tattooed on my brain, I swear I do. But anyway, the work keys test is going to be built into this curriculum as well, so that when students graduate, they will have a piece of paper that says you are qualified to do these jobs. And it will give them sort of a bar to measure themselves. If I want to be this, are my skills where they need to be, because they'll be practicing that test and finding out if their skills are in line with their goals.
Dr. Huff has a video on that work keys if you need to watch one.
Actually, I got it from Dave Rockers. So it's a great PBS video, or maybe you, Carrie.
It's amazing, yeah.
But it really speaks to the work we're doing and why we're doing it. And I thought it was a great reflection on why we're doing what we do.
Yeah. That's from model schools to every conference we've been to across the United States. Everything we're doing, really, it just seems like you get there and there are people speaking about exactly what we're doing. And it reinforces for me that we're doing the right thing. And a lot of people have worked hard, and this guy has taken it on the chin a lot to make it happen. So we need to really celebrate him.
He's used to getting sacked.
On his back most of the time. Good segue. One thing Jason's going to throw up there for you real quick is a frequently asked questions section. And we're going to add to that as we get kids and parents that give us questions that we haven't thought of. And so parents, students, community members can go on there and they can look at the questions and they can see the answer that we posted. And we talked to our teachers the other day about the program, and they gave us several other questions that, if you think about from a community member, a parent or student's perspective, that we need to add to it. So as we go through parent meetings, we're going to update that probably in the next 2 or 3 weeks to a month, and so it'll be more updated. I want to thank Sarah and Jason also for working with us extensively. Sarah's working with us on the curriculum and the new courses that we're going to add, and this summer is going to be a very big summer for our teachers in the spring, and we're building the transitions course, everything else. Everybody here has worked extremely hard as well. And so I want to thank that. The big finish is Christina is going to show you the catalog. And so I'll give her the microphone and let her talk.
I've got it right here. I've passed it around already. You need it here. Sit it down.
There are only 2 floating around. I was carrying it down the hall like a newborn. I didn't want to give it up today.
And the 2 that we're going to have some more printed, and these are kind of a rough draft. Kim was talking about the quality of print, and it's going to get better. But that's, to me, that I wouldn't have known any different if Kim hadn't said something.
But
it's amazing.
With today's date.
Okay.
So, it's also online if you guys want to pull it up. It's on the website.
Awesome.
I'm just going to flip through real quickly and just show you how it's laid out, how to navigate it. The table of contents is first or second. On the PDF file that students and parents can pull up, every item in the table of contents will link you directly to that page, so it's pretty easy to navigate. And I will build in more links as I can. So if you see a program of study name, you can click on it and it'll take you to that page.
Good.
In the beginning, there's some standard stuff, mission statements, standards of excellence, enrollment guidelines, graduation requirements. Just flipping through. And this is all stuff I think that's not been changed. It's just now in a format that's easier to read and understand. And I put in tables where I didn't see the tables. So. Okay. Let's see.
Evelyn Woods.
Yeah.
So there's nothing like this in the country.
Hopefully not. Okay, this middle section about the career paths, you'll see the new career path diagram. One thing I've developed is a color code system for this book, so it makes it easy to separate the 5 career paths visually. So if you're an arts and communication pathway, if you've chosen that, you can flip through the book and say, okay, this is a yellow section, this is about me, this is where I'm going to be. So. This section explains the difference between a path, cluster, and pathway. And then the next section is a table that describes each cluster and shows you what path it's under and the pathways within that cluster, all color-coded.
So you can see yellow, and it just keeps going with the cluster, and then all the way down the pathways. Carrie, did you talk about that?
Well, I think those 2 pages there, are a very good illustration for someone who's really trying to figure things out and get a general idea before they get into the programs of study that she's going to show you. So anybody can read that, and I think once they read that and they see the couple pages before, they'll really understand the difference between the broad career paths, the clusters of related type pathways underneath them, and then they get real defined. And most of the pathways in there, especially the Franklin Tech programs we already have, lead to an industry credential, and that's a real important part of that. And so Franklin Tech has been very strong for many years in those areas, so we're going to keep those areas and build them even stronger with more university and especially junior college offerings and dual credit offerings, so that we can enhance those programs even more. So that's exciting, and I think once people look at those 2 or 3 pages and they understand it, and the students get into their refined area, it'll make more sense to them.
Now, is this starting for the 2014, 2015 freshmen?
Yes.
They will, so
Yes.
our 8th graders are going to be looking at this
Yes.
booklet and
Yes. So the next
And I think
section-
it's important to note that there will be confusion because this is new and different, but it doesn't mean that it's not organized, it means that it's new and different. And so we'll have to communicate again and again. I think it's Paul that always says, it takes 12 times to learn to hear the message and really understand it. And so we need to expect to repeat ourselves a lot, but there's a lot of things that have been put into place to make sure that it is clear and it's understandable, and the color coding is huge with that.
Okay. Then we have the programs of study. We start with the general requirements. And this is the same for every student, right?
Right.
This is what's required. And then the individual programs of study per pathway. And there are 34 pathways, 34 programs of study that look like this. And they're color-coded by path. And that shows the recommended courses for that particular pathway.
And what we're going to continue to do is refine and work with our advisory groups to make those better. So that we're going to already get started at the end of the school, well, really coming up very soon with advisory groups to really look at those, and then into next year, so that the following year at this time, we'll make the adjustments needed. And that's where Sarah and all the students come in, or excuse me, the department chairs, the teachers come in about reworking and looking at the curriculum and redesigning as needed.
I think one of the other exciting things that we've discussed with the advisory boards is including students and parents on those as well. So we have all stakeholders represented, giving us feedback as we grow our vision for the high school. So we're really excited about growing that.
Okay. And at the very end are the course descriptions. And that's it.
Mike, I heard you say there's nobody else in the country doing this, and we did travel and we saw schools that were doing things, mostly career academies, and it was for
21 of them, I think,
students who were able to get selected or get, picked to go to a school that was different.
Right.
You don't see this for a large comprehensive high school. This is groundbreaking.
And there was a meeting tonight for current freshmen and sophomores and tomorrow night, correct?
Tonight.
We had information.
We had that first.
Okay.
We had information on it.
Isn't there a second one though?
Yeah, there's one Thursday night.
Thursday night,
For
my bad.
11th grade parents, but 9th or 10th grade parents can come as well. Or any
Okay.
community member can come
Okay.
as well.
Okay.
It really is a college, career, and technology-focused high school. That's really what it is. If you really boil it down, we're just going to do a much better job and have much more opportunities for students in that way.
I'm just curious, we're adding, 138 some odd new courses, the way I count it, if this is correct. Is that correct? This says addition, so adding 138 new courses. Just curious, are there any old courses that aren't relevant, that we're taking out of the course catalog?
There were several courses that departments wanted to revamp and relook
Rename or
at. For instance, drama became acting with a little different slant and so on, those kinds of
Okay.
things. Not too many, not really very many. The magic is going to be when we find out what courses make compared to other old courses.
Right.
So that's what we don't know yet. But
Well,
from
and-
our early indications are the kids, at least the juniors, are really excited about what they're seeing.
Well, in English 4, for example, became how many courses, Carrie?
About 6 or 7.
6 or 7 courses. English 4 became 6 or 7 different
Specialized.
courses.
Half semester.
And
semester.
that was one of the exciting things this week, that during enrollment, students they were really getting the first taste of, oh,
I can do this.
you mean I can take any one of these instead of English 4?
And you took it and specialized it according to the career pathway that that student was taking, so that
Well,
they could
that's
understand.
freshmen and sophomores haven't even seen that yet. Freshmen and
Right.
sophomores are going to get that.
So it makes it more relevant
Right.
to that, for
Career
that
path.
particular path that
They're gonna
that
have that
student
option,
chooses.
yes.
Right.
Okay.
And so are we hiring more teachers? If we have, like, if we used to have Communication Arts 4, now we have 6 classes that take the place of that one class? How do you do that?
Many of the core courses, we can work things out with the existing staff. I would say most of the core. It's the elective courses that we're going to have to be real careful with and watch when it comes to potential additions. That's where we're going to have to.
Okay, so will we hire as needed, or?
One of the things that you have to understand is that if you did have 6 hours of English 4, now you won't have 6 hours of English 4. You'll have less than that, and there'll be different hours. So, and I think, what did we decide? We discussed how many ComArts 1 classes that you normally offered. It was like 20-some that are normally that many sections of ComArts 1. And so now, there would be a variety of them, but there's still that same number of kids who need that same class.
And then is there an amount of students that have to choose that for the class to make?
Yes,
Yes.
like
Yes.
college.
Yes.
Like college? So, because, I mean, even if it's an online class, you still have to pay an instructor.
Exactly.
Right.
And then
Exactly.
there's some decisions that's going to have to be made. If it's an online class, is there enough to do it outside of the school day? And if that's the case, then we would pay a teacher a stipend. If there's enough to have it during the school day, then that might, instead of having a 7th-hour class, that teacher may have the online class 7th hour, and 20 or 25 kids would have that during that period and have that opportunity to meet that teacher maybe however many times they wanted to face-to-face, not very many compared to a face-to-face class, but that time, that would be devoted for that teacher to do a 7th hour.
The bottom line is we still have the same number of kids and that same student-to-teacher ratio, and as we look at classes and making classes, you know, we're not going to break the bank by having too many courses. We'll just have a wider variety of courses and less numbers of the same course.
Especially in the courts.
And we're using those, Missouri Southern is sending some teachers to our campus, and Crowder's sending some teachers. So that's saving us, we don't have to pay those.
So we're getting an add-on there, really, that we didn't have before, if you think about it.
So amazing work.
Yeah, it is.
Nothing short of
And
amazing.
I want to take a step back here for a second. You know, you look at where this is 2.5 years after a tragedy, a horrible tragedy. And instead of just laying on the ground, we got up quickly. We started visioning what a new high school could not only look like, but more importantly, what the program could be. And this is the end result of a lot of hard work on the part of a lot of people to get to this day. And I think, you know, it's very appropriate, I think, for this board, if you're so inclined to approve this, you know, obviously you guys have been on board since day one, but to ask for formal approval from the board for the transitions class as well as the program of study, knowing that there'll probably be adjustments. But we've learned to adjust over the last 2.5 years or so. So we did what we said we were going to do. We created a vision for teaching and learning. We identified what that was going to be, and we started designing a box around that. We developed a program of study to make it happen, and these folks made it happen. And I want to thank, you know, Kelly and Christina. That's a tremendous amount of work to pretty up a lot of work on the part of teachers. I don't know how many thousands of man hours from faculty and staff and administrators and Kelly and Christina, the good work that's gone on, and not to mention community members and others that have weighed in on this.
And our
But
curriculum
curriculum coordinator, you know, it's just been a phenomenal effort on the part of a lot of people to get us to this point. And we basically, in essence, reinvented what public schools should look like in Joplin, Missouri. And we're excited and thrilled, and I can promise you that when we have our ribbon cutting tomorrow, I'll be handing the governor of Missouri a copy of that course handbook, because they've been talking about that for a couple of years. And we're going to show him what it looks like. He's asked me, what is this thing? Well, we're still working on it. Well, now I've got something I can hand him, and we'll be giving that to him tomorrow when he arrives for our ribbon cutting at Soaring Heights.
Pretty sure she's not giving it up.
She might not.
Got it from her, yeah.
We have a copyright that before we give it to them.
If you could see,
It is coming.
yeah,
very good.
if you guys could see the pile of stuff we gave her, that she turned into that.
That's beautiful.
I mean, it's incredible,
Started
really.
last Monday.
Yeah.
Angie, what kind of input and what kind of comments from Desi did you get?
We did meet with our state supervisor as well as Dennis Cooper, who is, Dennis Conrad is in Carthage. I'm bad with names tonight, my gosh. Dennis Cooper, who is the assistant commissioner, and we have blessings. all the way through, they've said, yes, this is what we need to do, and this is how we work around the current system, and we make the things work out. And so they're excited about what we're doing, and people are watching.
And Christina, and I don't know if this is a question for you or somebody else, but that hard copy that you have, we'll have some copies available at some point that we'll have printed on a higher quality printer, I guess,
I
at
think
some
we've
point.
talked about having this more finalized by July before the building opens and having a run printed then.
Okay. It's
I just
cheaper to
want
do it
signed
electronically,
copies.
and then once we get it finalized, we'll run some hard
This will change
copies.
constantly until that time.
Living document.
Living
Well,
document.
it'll continue to change.
Yes.
Because when we get our advisory boards on, together, we'll be changing programs of study all the time, because that's the nature of the beast.
Well, and it should, and what you should also anticipate is what the high school looks like in August 2014 as far as the plans, and what it looks like 4 years from then, after we've had a group of students who have had 4 years in this kind of experience, which allows students the empowerment to accelerate and personalize. Then we'll continue to adjust. I'd say about year 5, you'll start to kind of see less change and more stabilization into the new way. But because you've got seniors starting in August 2014 who have had 3 years of the traditional, and now they get to have some choice that they're excited about, those kinds of things, it's going to grow into the whole fruition of the picture. But that's going to take 4 years to happen.
And as I mentioned before, and I think it's important to realize this is a historic moment in not only in Joplin, but for the state and nation, quite frankly. And we'd ask for a motion from the board to move forward and seek board approval for the program of study as well as the transitions class moving forward.
So move.
Second. Mr. Landis, Mr. Steele, any further questions or comments?
Good job for all of it.
Yeah, that's
All the hard
great.
work and
I wanted to say, I know it's been a very ambitious project. I've been fortunate enough to kind of tag along through some of these meetings and see what you guys have been doing throughout. And I just really strongly believe one of the reasons why I got on the board in the first place was I feel like, especially the direction of the high school, what the district's doing is the right thing to do for our kids and for our community. And I appreciate you guys are representing many, many other members of your committee that have put this together, and many, many hours of hard work. And I'm very excited, and I'm very happy that with what you guys have done so far.
Thank you. Our staff.
Angie, you talked about all those tours that we took. It won't be long that they'll be coming to Joplin High School doing the same thing with us.
It's already happening.
We've already identified the day of the week that we'll have those, because it's getting to the point that we're being asked to have tours and to be teaching others so much that we're having to define this is when you can come, because otherwise people would be doing that all day long, and we've got other work to do besides just helping others.
Please vote.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Great
Thank you,
job.
Gary.